Have you ever felt like you're living on a loop? Like no matter how hard you try to move forward, you keep running into the same walls, the same relationship patterns, or the same internal struggles? Many of us have been taught to believe that this is just karma, a spiritual debt we're paying for mistakes we don't even remember making. We view it as a life sentence, a rigid cosmic law that leaves us powerless. But what if I told you that most of what we think we know about karma is actually upside down? What if the most powerful tool you have to change your entire future is sitting, right now, in the driver's seat of your mind? Today, we aren't just talking about philosophy. We are talking about the mechanics of how you can literally rewrite the script of your life by understanding the true nature of intention. To really get a grip on this, we have to clear away the clutter. In popular culture, we use the word karma like it's a cosmic bank account or a form of what goes around comes around justice. But in the original Buddhist tradition, the definition is much more precise and, honestly, much more empowering. The Buddha famously said that intention is karma. He didn't say your results are karma or your misfortunes are karma. He said the intention, the why behind what you do, is the actual seed. Think about that for a second. If you're driving and you accidentally hit a pothole, that's an event. But if you see a puddle and intentionally swerve to splash a pedestrian, that's karma. The physical movement might look similar, but the mental energy behind it is what sets the gears of your future in motion. This shift in perspective is massive. It means karma isn't a cloud hanging over your head. It's a muscle you're flexing in every single moment. If karma is intention, and you have the power to change your intentions right now, then you are not a victim of your past. You are the architect of what happens next. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the past. If you're listening to this and thinking, that's great, but I've already made a lot of mistakes, you're not alone. This brings us to a crucial distinction that most people miss: the difference between karma and Vipāka. If karma is the seed you plant, Vipāka is the fruit that eventually grows. You cannot unplant a seed that is already in the ground. If you planted a lemon seed 10 years ago, you're going to get lemons. You can't wish them into being oranges. This is the part of our lives we can't change. The resultant energy of past actions that shows up as our current circumstances, our health, or the family we were born into. However, and this is the deep dive secret, while you cannot change the fruit that has already ripened, you have total control over how you consume it. This is where most of us lose our power. When something bad happens, a lemon from the past, we usually react with anger, blame, or despair. But here's the trap. That reaction is a new intention. By reacting poorly to an old result, you are planting a brand new crop of lemon seeds for the future. You're keeping the cycle of suffering on life support. To change your karma, you don't go back in time. You change the way you respond to the results of the past in the present moment. Let's use a real-world example to make this stick. Imagine you're at work and a colleague says something incredibly dismissive to you. That moment, the fact that they said it and the sting you feel, might be the Vipāka, the result of some past dynamic or energy. You can't change that it happened, but in the 3 seconds after they speak, you have a choice. If you snap back with a sharp insult, you've just created hate karma. You've strengthened the habit of aggression in your mind. But if you take a breath, recognize your own sting without acting on it, and choose to respond with professional boundaries or even just silence, you've broken the loop. You've planted a seed of patience karma. The old cycle ends with you. This is what it means to truly change your karma. It's not about performing a ritual to wash away the past. It's about becoming so mindful of the present that the past no longer has the power to dictate your future moves. It's like being a navigator on a ship. You can't control the winds or the waves that were set in motion by a storm 100 miles away. That's your past karma hitting your hull. But you have total control over the rudder right now. If you keep the rudder steady, the storm eventually passes. If you let go of the rudder in fear, the storm wins. So, how do we practically apply this when life feels overwhelming? We have to understand that our lives aren't just one big karma block. The Buddhist teachings suggest that karma is just one of many forces affecting us. Not every bad thing that happens is your fault from a past life. Sometimes it's just the weather or biological laws or the choices of others. But our response is always our own. A powerful way to visualize this is the salt and water analogy found in ancient texts. Imagine you have a teaspoon of salt. That salt represents a mistake or a bad karma from your past. If you drop that salt into a small glass of water, that water becomes undrinkable. It's bitter and overwhelming. This is what happens when we have a small mind, a mind that isn't practicing kindness or mindfulness or generosity. Every little mistake feels like a catastrophe. But imagine if you took that same teaspoon of salt and threw it into the massive flowing waters of the Ganges River. Does the river become salty? Not at all. The salt is still there, but the volume of pure fresh water is so vast that the salt becomes insignificant. This is the ultimate cheat code for changing the trajectory of your life. You don't erase the past. You dilute it by flooding your present with massive amounts of good karma, acts of service, moments of presence, and thoughts of goodwill. When you expand the water of your character, the salt of your past no longer has the power to make your life bitter. As we move toward the final part of our journey today, I want you to consider the power of the pause. This is the most practical tool for changing your destiny. Most of our intentions are autopilot. We react to traffic, we react to emails, we react to our spouses. To change your karma, you must reclaim the pause between the stimulus and the response. In that pause, you transition from being a victim of your history to being a creator of your future. Ask yourself, is this intention coming from a place of greed, hatred, or delusion? Or is it coming from a place of generosity, love, or wisdom? It sounds simple, but doing this consistently for even one day will change the vibration of your life more than 10 years of complaining about your luck. You are essentially retraining your brain, what modern science calls neuroplasticity, but what the ancients called cultivating the path. You are carving new grooves in your mind so that, eventually, choosing the good karma becomes your new autopilot. Remember, the Buddha didn't teach karma to make us feel guilty. He taught it to make us feel free. If your life is the result of your own intentions, then you hold the keys to the kingdom. You aren't waiting for a judge to forgive you. You are waiting for yourself to make a better choice. The past is a ghost. It has no hands, it cannot move objects, and it cannot make decisions for you unless you give it your permission. As you go about the rest of your day, I want to challenge you to look at every interaction as a karmic crossroad. Whether you're standing in line at the grocery store or dealing with a difficult family member, ask yourself, what kind of seed am I planting right now? Because 15 minutes from now, or 15 years from now, you're going to have to walk through the garden you're planting today. Make sure it's a place you actually want to live in. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this perspective shifted something for you, I'd love for you to take one small, intentional action right now. Perhaps reaching out to someone with a kind word or simply taking 3 mindful breaths. That is your first new seed.